you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears falling, but don't allow them to, don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to.
This weightless. If anything, it's you that caused this. When I keep falling through my heart cracks, it's you that turns around this whole mess. I try to fight my way through darkness. If anything, it's you that stopped this. When I'm surrounded by the heartless, it's you that turns around this whole mess.
Distant thoughts are getting high. Head feels heavy and I'm blurry-eyed. That's all I know. The pace feels fast. I'm eating without you here. I feel so alone. Energy still depleted. Trying to find a glimmer of hope. Will you look into my eyes and tell me it'll be alright? From my mind is in a tunnel fight. Been focusing on healing my fractured soul from all the harm and pain I once concealed. But the storm has come before the calm. When you look into my eyes and tell me it'll be alright. From my mind is in an eternal fight with stuff sometimes.
Where's all the lovers with desire hiding? Missing the chance to transform something basic. Where's all the mistakes? Making judgments from skyscrapers. All these days we stand against them. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears falling, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to. But don't allow them to. Don't allow them to. Don't allow them to. tears for them, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to. I can see those tears for them, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to.
Living by the wayside, distant thoughts are getting high. Head was heavy and I'm blurry-eyed. That's all I know. The pace feels fast. I'm eating without you here. I feel so alone. Energy still depleted. Trying to find a glimmer of hope. Will you look into my eyes and tell me it'll be alright? For my mind is in an eternal fight with stuff sometimes. I wonder where you are tonight. I wonder where you are tonight. When the demons hold us so tight. I wonder where you are tonight. I wonder where you are tonight. Wonder where you are tonight. Will you look into my eyes and tell me it'll be alright? For my mind's in an eternal fight. Wonder where you are tonight. Been focusing on healing my fractured soul from all the harm and pain I once concealed. But the storm has come before the calm. Will you look into my eyes and tell me it'll be alright? For my mind is in an eternal fight with stuff sometimes. I
you filthy Valorant casuals to Season 2 of the Collegiate Valorant League, hosted by the Gamers EDU, hosted by me. I am your part-time host slash full-time bottom fraggin' Reina Main Queen B. Tonight, per usual, we have 3 super stacked matches lined up for you guys. Starting off and kicking it off will be Houston versus Akron. But before we get into the high octane CVL action that you guys came here to see, I did want to do my usual and welcome in all the new students, teams, and viewers that are joining us in the league this year for the first time. I know we're reaching the end of week 3. You guys have basically been here for a while now, but I did want to welcome in anyone who might be new. Here at the Gamers EDU, we want to be an inclusive and a safe space for anyone in the gaming community that is struggling with their mental health or maybe struggling with a loved one's mental health and is navigating that journey. It's something that affects us all, be it indirectly or directly, and we want to be that platform that you can use to address it because it's not talked about enough. So if you or someone you know is struggling with their mental health, please, please, please reach out for help. It is the scariest part to start the journey, but it is the most important. And if you don't know where to go or how to, or what resources to look out for, you guys can check out our panels down below. There is a link to our website, and there's plenty of mental health resources to get you started with that. Down below, you'll also find all of the links to our sponsors. There's exclusive offers and discount codes made exclusively for our CVL family here, but they're also supporting us in this mission to spread mental health awareness on Twitch, and we just gotta give a huge shout out and a big ol' thanks to them for that. Thank you to HyperX, the exclusive headset sponsor for the CVL. They will be raffling off a bunch of different headsets all throughout the tournament to you guys, so you guys can, match and we can be twinsies. So keep your eyes peeled for that and make sure you keep those tabs open because you don't know which match it's going to be and you don't want to miss it. And just a big collective thank you to the rest of our sponsors: MSI, our title sponsor, Gamers Out, Radiance.gg, CEV. These are just some of the sponsors that are helping us or that are supporting us in our mission, and we are eternally grateful. And now, before I send you guys on a quick little commercial break, I did want to remind everybody in chat to play nice. I am not your mom. I shouldn't have to tell you to behave, but please behave. We totally understand that loyalty to your friends, to your teams, to your schools, if you're affiliated with one, it runs super deep. And we totally encourage trash talk. We just don't encourage you guys actually being trash. There's a difference. And now, before I pass it over to your casters for the evening, Eli the Curry and Ashcon, I'm going to send you guys on that quick commercial break that I talked about. But in the meantime, don't you dare go anywhere because we are starting soon, and I will see you in chat. Bye, guys.
felt this weightless. If anything, it's you that caused this. When I keep falling through my heart cracks, it's you that turns around this whole mess. I try to fight my way through darkness. If anything, it's you that stopped this. When I'm surrounded by the heartless, it's you that turns around this whole mess.
Where's all the lovers with the side? Missing the chance to transform something basic. Where's all the mistakes, making judgments from skyscrapers? All these days we stand against them. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears falling, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to. But don't allow them to. Don't allow them to.
Living by the wayside, distant thoughts are getting high. Head was heavy and I'm blurry-eyed. That's all I know. The pace feels fast. I'm eating without you here. I feel so alone. Energy still depleted. been focusing on healing my fractured soul from all the harm and pain I was concealing. But the storm has come before the calm. Will you look into my eyes and tell me it'll be alright? For my mind is in an eternal fight with itself sometimes. I wonder where you are tonight. I wonder where you are tonight. When the demons hold us so tight, I wonder where you are tonight. I wonder where you are tonight. Wonder where you are tonight. Will you look into my eyes and tell me it'll be alright? For my mind's in an eternal fight. Wonder where you are tonight.
You know I've never felt this weightless. If anything, it's you that caused this. When I keep falling through my heart cracks, it's you that turns around this whole mess. I try to fight my way through darkness. If anything, it's you that stopped this. When I'm surrounded by the heartless, it's you that turns around this whole mess. It's you that turns around this whole
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Collegiate Valorant League, brought to you by the Gamers EDU. I am Eli the Curry, joined by
Ashkan.
And we are here to deliver, cast some wonderful Diamond League action here. Before we get into that, though, I do want to thank our sponsors over at MSI, Clear Eye View, as well as the California State University Entertainment Alliance, AIM Labs, Ritual Motion, Radiance.gg, and our title sponsor, HyperX. We will be here for 3 Valorant matches tonight, 3 best-of-1 matches, all going to be played on Ascent, which is our map of the week. Ashkan, you and I are going to be able to watch some personal favorites tonight. I know our first match is going to be between the University of Houston and Akron, or Akron, as they were affectionately known last week. And I don't know which. We'll go back and forth. Just kidding, chat. Please don't get mad. We'll say Akron. I promise. Don't be mad at us, please. Let us.
I fixed it.
Okay.
I fixed it. I asked before. Don't worry. Our pronunciation is getting better.
See, y'all college students, you haven't graduated yet. You don't understand that normally you get handed the phonetic list of all the names before you go on stage. That's what happens. So they read off the names. We didn't get that, so we were making it up as we go along. But it's all in good fun. Our second match of the night will be Texas A&M versus NJIT. And that'll be our first time getting to see NJIT on stream and the CVL. So I'm excited to see what they do. Texas A&M obviously coming back for some more. And then our final match of the night, California Classic between a couple of clubs returning from last season. One of them being Sacramento State University, and the other, I'll let you do the intro for this team. I feel like you can do it better justice.
Oh man, we got CSUN Red coming in hot for this third match tonight, and I am ready to watch them take the cake. At least I hope they do. Of course, I am an unbiased caster, and I will remain unbiased for as long as I possibly can. So, I am excited for all of these matches.
Absolutely. I'm really glad for it. I know yesterday, the OG Bent and I were able to cast 4 matches, and we ended on another California Classic, and it was a very close affair, a very narrow margin of victory, despite how big a lead Cal State Long Beach got. They just beat Fullerton. I think it was a 10-3 or 11-3 by the end of it. So you'll have to see it, man.
Sure. Now we're going into Ascent, and if anyone was catching the Masters earlier today, we had an Ascent game on between Luminosity Gaming and Sentinels. And for those of you who don't know, Tyson 10's No has been transferred from Cloud9 to Sentinels. So you see me wearing this Cloud9 jersey. And, man, he really dominated that map today. And in celebration of that, I made sure to wear all of my favorite jerseys. We came in with Cloud9. We're ended on Sentinels. But, of course, today I am just merely your caster, so allow me to just... All right, here we go.
Look at that.
So with that weight off my shoulders and that shirt falling to the floor, we are entering this map with some excitement. And hopefully these teams also watched the earlier matches, because boy, oh boy, did those teams make a model for success in their best of 3.
Yeah, there's obviously at the highest level of competition, the pro play that you're going to see there, that's the gameplay that on the collegiate level you're looking to emulate, right? That's the way you want to play. You want to be popping off, getting 4Ks in the Master Series. That's not a bad way to perform. And we'll see which one of these teams is able to get closer. We'll see which players look really strong here. We are selected for our agents, so we are confirmed who each player is going to be using tonight. Ashkan, you're getting a look at this now. What do you think of these different team layouts?
I definitely love to see the Killjoy picks on both teams. I'm going to assume both of them are going for a B setup when they're on defense, which does seem to be the case. And even on attack side, we have Tan Bands. Look at him setting up that flank turret. And additionally, having Sova here is a great pick. He is always a great cheeser for the B main hold, but also for a retake on A site, because we know retaking on A site, that Heaven Bit is wall bangable. So you love to see Sova players drone or arrow right into hell and see their teammates wallbang anyone who's hiding under there and is unfortunate enough to get spotted.
And we did see that a couple of times actually last night. We saw the pressure coming down through the floorboards, if you will, out of heaven over on the A site, and that type of pressure, it definitely gets people moving around. It takes a lot of composure to stay clean, and that's one thing that I would ask you about when these teams are trying to work on things over the course of the season. What are some things you try to tell people when you're trying to get them to develop their composure, to stay still when they're in a site and they don't want to give away their position too early, or when you're holding an angle and you just need to hold it just a little bit longer so that you don't give away your position first?
I think having any amount of information in the helps someone remain more confident in their movement. Oh. Okay, we just had a little bit of a drive-by tag right over there.
Right. Too much dog. Able to just take some shots and then just walk away. Unfortunately, Arrow won't be able to emulate the feed as they are taking out there. So there's the first blood of the match here as Arrow falls. It is Akron losing the first member. But it's a long series here, and Jax looks like they have no problem meeting that up as they tag Sully. Dezu gets the clap back and sends Jax to the ground here as Tanban's looking to move in to the B site.
Have Erebus on Akron holding CT front, or hold. Oh my God! With an arrow out from CT, hitting Panzer and Arisu, who were low from their earlier fights, evening up the match this round to 2 for 2. We have a double killjoy mirror here with the Sage versus Jet. I'm gonna say Akron is in a little bit of a better position with that Sage still available to them, and now they are 1 for 2. But Sage has taken no damage. Too much dog, looking great. Healthy and clean. Tanbans is going to go ahead and maybe try to find too much dog here, but he is already walking away from the crime scene. Griffy Guy finds Tanbans, lacking, and takes him out with a headshot with his ghost.
Smooth move there by Girthy Guy to come around the corner. Not giving anything up there. I wonder about that option for Tanbans. They could have, I believe, shut the door right there, right? Do you think that would have been the optional play? Try to set up a 1-for-1 for a brief amount of time. Give yourself at least a little bit of time before your Sage is going to be able to re-enter the fight?
That could be a good idea. It's a little bit of a 50-50 there. I think if he's willing to risk it and is confident in where the site player was, it's good to go. But the issue is that when you close the door, it also shouts to the person on site, "Hey, I'm at the lever." So it's a little bit of a chance-based play, I would say.
Yeah, and obviously we have perfect information, so it's easy for me to call it out and say, "No, you shut the door. That way you just turn to the left and be ready for the fight." But as you mentioned earlier when talking about composure, you have to have information first, and when you're trying to gather that information, it's going to slow down the plays. And I like that out of Girthy Guy, and we saw it from Akron over the course of that round. They were trying to slow play things. They lost the first blood interaction, and then they didn't panic. They stayed composed and tried to get themselves situated. So looks like we are going to have a technical timeout right now as one of the members of the University of Akron. Actually, it was Arrow who did fall first. Is apparently having some connection issues, so we'll see if they are able to get themselves sorted out, get the wires untangled, and hopefully not have to deal with packet loss or any, obscene amount of ping. As you hate for that to be the reason someone's not able to perform at their best.
Most definitely. I mean, hopefully he recovers quick. We've had history in the past. It was actually a CSUN game in Season 1 where I believe, I'm unaware if it was Sac State or SJSU, but it was a 3v5. So we've had a history with having to play out those types of games before, but we don't prefer it.
Certainly everybody wants to beat. You want to beat a team at their best. Nobody wants to win by a technicality or something like that. And it looks like, for the moment at least, the University of Akron is comfortable enough to play. As we see here, Jax once again taking that angle and does take out Tanbans. Jax has done well over in this mid area. Gets the kill there on Sully, and then a third on Desu. 4 Jax! Oh, you almost had the Jax! The Rays with bionic arms with the 5K in the second round? Are you serious?
Eco fragger!
Okay, all right. Well, play like a Valorant master. Why don't you go ahead?
Yes, sir. Sign him up for the tournament. He is up here, and his ult is ready. He can enter into a site if he wants to. This is a dangerous buy round for NJIT. If they, Houston, if they come out in the wrong position, they might find themselves on the other end of a showstopper.
Right now, you gotta wonder exactly what the feeling is as Jax just completely dominates that round here.
Okay,
Gotta get that information out. Oh my, well there's a trade. Okay.
Now, I don't like that wall because Bad Dog's position is kind of obvious. Now it's even more obvious because he's spotted, and now he's taken out. Sully swings in with a headshot. They go ahead and walk onto A site. Arrow's going to go ahead and find a trade, 3 for 3. All right, so we're a little bit evened out. And Girthy Guy's going to go ahead and make a way through the door, but he is caught with his pants down as Sully finds another swing and headshot.
That intel going out there, and you see after the missed shot, they're just kind of letting it go. You know the pressure now is coming from heaven. There's Tanbands on the flank, and they get a quick 2 there, taking Arrow and Erebus off the board. So that is the first round here. Now, do I have these teams mixed up, right? I know Erebus is on Akron, so it is 2-1. It is 2-1 Akron right now, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we're going to go ahead and have Houston finally finding themselves on the board, and they're going to go ahead and decide Desu going for this full buy. Both teams up here available for the buy round, but Panzer with his Hunter's Fury perhaps going for a off-site post plant or maybe an aggressive entry depending on how we see this round play out.
Yeah, we've seen that. I don't know. Yesterday we saw an early Hunter's Fury from Asova in this angle. But it looks like there's going to be more patience here. Instead, it's going to be the Killjoy ult coming out here from Tanbands as Houston tries to open up this B site and get themselves in position.
Now out comes the Nanostorm to halt the push into lane, but they're going to get onto site anyway. Houston taking control, but with 2 left in B main, they're not to be challenged, but as soon as I say that, Too Much Dog finds a way back to get rid of Tanbands. Panzer getting rid of Too Much Dog.
Good shooting there by Sully to get Girthy Guy, but Erebus finds Desu and take him off the board here. You've got to be very careful, however, if you are Akron trying this retake, because you know now that Panzer is really just setting and waiting the time before they can go out and get that Hunter's Fury up. There it goes right there. They're going to tag one. Try to push off the spike, and here comes Jax, of course, pushing up to challenge the Hunter's Fury. It was a fundamental play there up to the plant from Akron, but as you called out, Ashkan, and certainly as we see, Houston knew they were aware of where they were going to be after that situation went up, so they were ready for the setup.
Absolutely. Something that's a little bit, we have to be careful of as solo players try to use their ult for the post plant is you got to make sure that you got someone else watching you while that ultimate comes out, because it takes a long time to fire off those ultimate Hunter's Fury shots, but also to put that bow away if you need to cancel when someone's coming up to you. And unfortunately, he was stuck in that 1v3 situation.
Yeah, it was a tough situation once that went up. We do hear the ultimate now coming here out of Desu. They're going to be looking to get the knives out. Patience once again. Akron.
Oh. You don't want to get spotted by those arrows, but unfortunately Arrow is in a place where, Houston does not necessarily control quite yet. So he's able to back out kind of free of charge, but Houston has taken both ultimate orbs on the map and sniped Jax with a headshot. Amazing play by Desu. Solely goes ahead and takes the kill off of Arrow. Desu had his eyes on him, but hey, it's a competition of the duelists to see who can get the most frags.
It's great the guy sprays down Tanbands there. And one thing about that kill I think is important is, as I recall, Desu I don't think had a rifle prior to that with that ult. They were using the Blade Storm, so with that kill, they may be able to rifle up. But it's Too Much Dog who gets a couple on the push through. Panzer is able to take it, but it's a 2-for-1 trade. And that leaves us with a 2-for-2 here as the spike goes down. And Erebus looking to let that Hunter's Fury go and stop this plant. But it's Panzer who kills Girthy Guy, so now this is going to force over here Erebus into the site. And I tell you what, Erebus has no problem with it. Go ahead, just get you a double kill, get you a defuse, and go ahead and put Akron up 4-1 in the first half.
You failed. Now flee.
Definitely great though. Hunter's Fury there not only gave Erebus that sort of health advantage he needed to win this 2v1, but gave him the information that someone is around Tree Room, and because he knew the bomb was going down by someone else, he had all the information he needed to make that 2v1 play.
Well done there by Erebus. I'd love to see it. You were talking about things that Sova players needed to do when navigating that Hunter's Fury in that situation, and though Erebus was on defense, so his objectives are a little bit different, and it wasn't a 3v1, you do see what can be done and how some quick thinking and smart shooting can take a round.
Now we got Desu here picking mid with his operator on the jet attacking side, trying to find a pick on market, but Arrow's not going to let it happen. It is smoked off.
Trying to press that angle that Jax is holding there on top of that Sage wall. She is, I think, one of those agents I feel like is really underrated in terms of the way she changes the game. Obviously, the levels she can do with the walls and the way she can hinder mobility. But I just feel like in general, you know, Sage kind of fosters that teamwork environment that I think is really important in some of these 5v5s. As you see Jax here getting two there as Tanbanz gets caught watching Sully fall to the ground, and there you go. Jax with another pair of kills in the same round here as Too Much Dog this time will be shut down by an operator as the entry into the A site begins. It's Arrow there trying to fill the gap, but it looks like Houston will make their way into the site regardless.
And they have no time to rest because Jax is coming around on the flank with Desu holding A main, but does he get spotted? He does, but Jax is able to dodge the op shot, take a headshot to Desu, find his 3K. Kua left alive on the side of Houston. Will it be another A? Could it be possible? Oh, Griffey guy goes ahead and takes out Panzer, but hey, they're going to go ahead and try to win the round. Erebus comes out from heaven, takes a headshot on Jax, but is traded out by Erebus, leaving Akron 2-0, 2 left alive on the map, and making them 5-1.
Well done there. Now Akron starting to pull away with this 4-round lead. Although we saw some big leads kind of fall, get shrunk up yesterday. Obviously, the disparity between teams sometimes can be exaggerated when you have an eco disadvantage. You see right here, right now, Houston just not going to be as well equipped as Akron is going to be. What are some things that need to happen when you're trying to make up a massive deficit like this?
So Houston might want to play a little bit more default. I'm seeing a lot of executions from their side, but not a whole lot of patient play. And as soon as I say that, they're spotted and denied the B site by a Killjoy ultimate, and yet choose to force their way in, take a lot of these fights. Erebus takes Zetsu, Aerosol finds Erebus. Griffy guy is going to take Aerosol and Panzer as Sully finds a headshot on Aero. And with this gun deficit, the 3v2 is looking bad. It's now a 3v1 as Griffy finds his third kill of the round. Sully's going to find Jackson to trade out, but Too Much Dog brings the operator to the table.
Well done there. And the issue the entire time, I think, for did Too Much Dog really just use that ult after the round was won?
So from the looks of it, it is a economic ultimate to allow one extra person to have a gun when the round ends.
It essentially just rebuys a gun basically at the cost of the ultimate. Okay. I was thinking about, I was like, that is some BM if I've seen it here, but you were able, thankfully, I'm glad you were here, Ashkan, to save me from looking entirely too foolish. See right now, Too Much Dog with that appropriated operator. They've been using it quite well here. We see now Jax this time set up over on the A site.
Not quite able to get the kill, but Tanbanz does not walk away with for free.
It is Panzer who eventually finds Jax there. As you see Desu take out Girthy guy. And so now Houston with an agent advantage as they are trying to get themselves back into position. Oh, and Tanban's able to walk away from that one. Actually able to dodge some bullets there as they are very low. Can't really afford to get hit by anything there.
Yeah, it's a game where a lot of walls are wall bangable, so you don't want to be caught lurking near a corner where a straight bullet flies through that piece of equipment.
Or get caught in the head right there as Panzer with the dot. Gonna take out Erebus and get the spike planted here. Now for Houston, an opportunity to protect the spike, let it go off, and get themselves on the board. You mentioned them needing to execute, and here's an opportunity for them now to put together some, by the book, conventional 3v2. You have an agent advantage. You've got the spike down. You're at advantage here if time elapses. And it looks like on the side of Akron, it doesn't seem like there's a large sense of urgency. It's almost as if they're not really even going to try to contest this.
Yeah, perhaps they're thinking to kind of maintain their economy and weaponry. Perhaps if Big Dog had his ult this round, they might have been able to pull off a 3v3. But what they want to do is find some picks at the walkaway, and they do. 2 taken out, one each, Arrow and Big Dog. Solely last one left alive. Match going to 6-2 in Akron's favor.
It's the play you mentioned, another economic decision here, and that's kind of back-to-back rounds. We see Akron opting to play the numbers game in a sense here by forcing the rebuys out of more members of Houston. We'll see how that plays out. Obviously, if you're Houston and you win the next round, you really don't notice too bad. As long as you can keep winning, you can keep buying whatever you need. But things can go the other way very quickly if you are not picking up dubs in between the round.
Oh, now there's too much dog with a very unique angle that you can only use with Sage and her wall. Trying to cheese someone out, but unfortunately it's Jax that falls first by Airsuit. Headshot, mid is taken over by Houston. They're going to run up, and Too Much Dog is looking at True, but he doesn't know that someone's about to peek. Hey man, he gets blinded, someone peeks. He's out by Desu, who's also being fired at by Soli, who's in the Empress. It's a very dangerous situation for Akron here, as Houston has all 5 players on the map. And Desu takes out Girthy Guy to make it 5-2.
Oh wow, there's Erebus with the kill there on Sully through the Empress. As Arasui takes that arrow, it's going to be all Erebus here if they want to get this round done. It's an unfortunate situation. It feels like Akron just kind of filing in one by one as they were mowed down until Erebus was left. And now they've got a lot to work against. You see Dezu's Bladestorm ult up there, hunting, trying to aggressively get this kill, finish off this round. But Erebus is going to be able to take out Tanbands. See right now, however, the spike will be going off, so Erebus now kind of just forced to flee the area, and they're cut down by Desu, who gets their 3rd kill of the round. It's another round here for Houston. As we mentioned, if they can keep winning these rounds, right, the economic deficit basically just becomes non-existent. You keep winning, you keep buying. But if you are Akron now on this side, you've got 6 rounds and a half, so at least you know you're not at a deficit. But what do they need to do in order to take some type of advantage heading into the second half?
Looking at this right now, I see a great amount of possibilities with all the ults on the board. If Akron wants to maintain their lead, they're going to go ahead and have to use their Killjoy ultimate. But of course, I was going to say Jack should use his ultimate too, but he gets picked off first. And here we have Houston able to quickly get their Killjoy ultimate out on the floor and perhaps go for a beat take. But Erebus is going to go ahead and make way by destroying the attacking Killjoy ultimate with his Hunter's Fury. Girthy Guy's going to pick off Desu with the classic. Solely going to get the trade out. He's already low. It is not looking too good for Akron as he finds.
Last player standing.
Gets rid of the Omen shadow behind him, but Solely rolls on up for a 3rd kill of the round. Too Much Dog showing how strong the Bucky can be, but Solely puts him out of his misery and makes the 4th kill of the round come to life. Or Dash, really.
The opposite, really. But that's kind of Raina's shtick, right? Turning death into more life for herself. Kind of appropriate.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's been a strong turnaround sequence for Houston as they now get 3 rounds in a row. They were off to a very slow start. Things were not looking strong. But they have an opportunity to pull it even here as we get to the penultimate round of the half. You see Desu is opping up once again. They were not able to do much with that operator the first time they got their hands on it. It actually ended up doing more work in Too Much Dog's hands. What do you need out of an operator here on Ascent?
So I think Desu has the right idea by bringing that operator to the mid. However, it seems like Akron has a reputation with peaking catwalk, so I would personally like to see Desu find his way to B tiles and peak Jax, who's playing on catwalk.
See how this angle plays out here as we see right now. Desu look down, but there's not too much action coming out of that. We'll see. Actually, nope. If there was a peak, it was very minuscule. There was no shot off, and you can tell the patience on the side of Akron's defense here. Houston looking for this comeback. They're also trying not to give anything away too early as Sully finds the rotation there on Jax, and they are aware someone else is there. They're able to spray down too much dog, and a very unfortunate rotation there from Jax as they get caught out. Sully just waiting for Arrow to walk back in the site and gets a third kill of the round. They're gonna have a chance at a fourth there. No, it's Erebus who once again gets the kill. But while Sully was out here trying to play COD, the rest of the Cougars are in the site getting the spike down and preparing for this 4v2 site defense.
I think I got a little bit too excited there, Sully. He did see the chance. It was almost an ace.
One enemy remaining.
Great peek there, the damage done there, and you talked about that, Ashkan. You can shoot through that surface, right? The difference between heaven and hell over on the A site, the boards are basically they're paper down there, and we saw it in the opposite direction as Erebus was trying to make something happen, trying to retreat out of heaven, and instead it's cut down. And now, as we get to the final round of the first half, it's Houston who has won 4 rounds straight with an opportunity to tie this up heading into the second half when the sides flip.
Yeah, whoever did the construction for A site needs to be fired immediately. Oh boy, Showstopper comes out and stops Panzer from pushing any further than he already was, and Jax is going to aggressively take A main. Despite right there, if he's able to spot it, he can call his team over. It's right in his field of vision. He just needs to step forward a little bit, but he's blinded. He just misses it. He's going to take a fight here with Arasui, who takes him out.
See what happens there. If Jax was able to get the intel out, there's Arasui's second kill of the game. Jax going to get revived here by too much dog. But at this point now, things have gotten a little bit chaotic, and the spread is weird as you see right now. It's Erebus or too much dog and Jax over on the A side. It's Erebus on the B side, and maybe that's all they need right now is Erebus gets their second kill. They're quite low here, so they're gonna get taken out by Arasui, who gets their third kill of the round. And now Desu is able to get this operator here and set up in defense of the site.
Well, Desu, hey, wait. No, watch CT, Desu. It's free. It's free. Oh.
Enemy remaining.
And Arasui gets their 4th kill of the round. So there you go. Houston running it all the way back there. 5 rounds straight to close out the first half and send us to an even 6 rounds each going into the second half.
Definitely an amazing comeback, and you commented on that earlier, Eli, where that gap. That gap between score and teams can certainly be expanded upon because of economic difference, but here we are back again at 6-6. Everything is tied up as if it were 0-0 again, and now we're going into a nice, clean pistol round.
It'll be interesting to see what happens in this beginning rounds. We saw, of course, it was Akron who got out to a very strong lead to start things out with. That could have been due to the positioning. They were the defending team to start out with. Or was it simply because they're more comfortable in these eco rounds? We'll find out here as you see Jax, who had a very impressive second round. Would love to have an early round performance of a similar way here, but it looks unlikely as they are taken out by Sully, who is going to calmly get another kill, and Desu will get one as well. Panzer takes out too much dog, and it's looking like a very short round here as Arrow is left all alone in sight.
Guys, please, there's 5 people. I'm scared. Oh no, I'm not. I'm going to take one out with me. And Panzer unfortunately finishes up the round with a headshot. A little bit of a tight situation there. Amazing trigger discipline by Sully sitting there in logs. That's a very cheese spot to play. And because it's a little bit more uncommon, people tend to forget about it on pistol round. But that's why it's all the more effective.
Yeah, there's a consideration of, oh, you're not supposed to do that, or oh, that's who would do that. But if you're not prepared for the option, that's exactly why somebody would do that. And you see what happens there. Sully, I love that patience there to line up the second shot, trusting the teammates to cover what could otherwise have been questionable positioning, as you mentioned.
Headshot.
But right now, look at who it is. It's Desu there with the Spectres as Arasui gets another pair of kills. Arasui, kind of under the radar, has been very strong right now for Houston as they pushed out here. And Tanbans gets a kill there on Jax.
Beautiful.
Sully takes Erebus, and I think that is about as clean a second round as you're going to get from a team who won the pistol round extremely well.
I am absolutely amazed by Houston's communication there. And it was as fast as Desu saying they are mid for Arasui to confidently peek down Cat. It was not at all hesitated. There was no hesitation at all by Arasui. He trusted his teammate, and they both swung and took out everyone on Cat within milliseconds.
You gotta love the smoothness of the execution. It's one of the things that, obviously the top teams, not only in this league, but just top teams in general will be noted for, was that type of execution as well as individual skills. You see Tanban's gonna shut down the initiation from Jax. They're gonna get a kill here. And even though Jax's move up will get the revenge, Tanban's has done a good enough job, I think, to get this site under control here. As you see Sully step forward and get a couple of kills. And now things are looking really, really scary if you're Akron, as Houston has won 7 straight rounds to take a 9-6 lead.
Absolutely, and when you lose a bonus round, a round that is a bonus for the enemy team, where they keep those SMGs from round 2, you are really put in a bad spot there, because not only are you at an economic deficit, but that team gets guns basically for free.
Sorry, it was to say it is 8 rounds in a row, even more than that for Houston, actually. So it's really tough to deal with. And you see Desu taking an aggressive posture here, almost as if they have kind of read that there's going to be another save out of Akron. But wisely, Desu doesn't turn that corner, as I don't care what weapon you've got, what abilities you've got on deck. If you turn a corner and there's a Bucky on the other end of that corner, you are losing.
That is true. The right click on that weapon is we're waiting on a nerf up here in the Gamers EDU for the Bucky.
Speak for yourself. Some of us need all the help we can get.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, the same. You see the patience on the side of Desu, who is not eager to turn that corner. Tanban's a bit more there, and you see why Desu able to get the kill there on Too Much Dog, and that will give a bit of information away now as they see that Bucky on the ground. See Panzer now going to step forward and get a kill. It's coming, but it's short work there as Desu gets their second kill of the round, taking out Arrow.
He was going to press forward, but he gets pushed off by a nade from Jax. He's going to go ahead. Oh, Jax gets picked off by a headshot from Panzer, who's still holding that mid angle with great discipline. And the last alive left is Erebus, who's going to go ahead and find a shot with the Deagle. He's been a monster on that gun for the entirety of the matches that we've seen him. And he finds another pick with the Phantom. He picks off a corpse. He's going to go ahead and get the plant down, but with 2 health left, it's a tough job.
Very unlikely there. You saw Panzer moving over to get the kill. Erebus, basically knows there's no chance of surviving that encounter, right? So you're going to get the spike down, try to get some extra money for yourself. As, oh my goodness, Houston. All right, guys. All right, sometimes I say do some squats when somebody is salty, they're being toxic or something like that. We tell them do some squats, but it looks like this is putting the cart before the horses. It's a display of flexing here from Houston, but I'll tell you what, when you win 9 rounds straight, maybe it's less flexing and just reminding the other team of exactly who they're messing with.
Exactly, and here we go. Speaking of reminders, we have Desu here to give everyone flashbacks to when peaking B main was, or peaking B tiles was a horrible, horrible time, and it remains a horrible, horrible time as Jax finds himself dead on the floor.
There's the start there as Arasui again getting another kill to follow up. It's the last round, it was Panzer who was stepping in alongside Desu. Arasui has also performed extremely well during the streak from Houston. They've just come online and feel extremely clean with their decision making when they're choosing to engage, and obviously the shooting has been on point.
Yes, indeed. But right now we have Akron on the attack, trying to wander their way towards a tree. And so Dog has found himself in through the cracks. Desu hard scoping here on the A main angle. If someone happens to wander upon him, it might just be his downfall. But Big Dog is still working his way through Arasui's grip as he is still holding the backside of tree. Girthy guy working his way through. They just need to cross this archway. An arrow goes out. Tanbands is not spotted, but the arrow is shot down. 25 seconds left on the clock. Tanbands finds a headshot on Girthy, and he's going to find a second one on Dog, leaving Erebus all alone once again. He's going to come out, take out Tanbands. He's always getting those shots off. When he's the last one alive, he finds 1 and 2, but he's got 9 seconds left on the clock, and unfortunately, he's got Desu in front of him and Arasui right behind him.
Too much here, but oh my goodness, you know, you can definitely tell we're getting a little bit of a little testy here in the chat as these teams apparently not losing any love for each other. But right now, if you're Houston, you're loving what's happening here as they have flipped the switch, turned it around with that 10 rounds in a row, and now Akron forced to buy in here. They're gonna have, if they lose this round, they're on match point. So the economic decision making here has to be very, very precise here for Akron if they want to try to make this comeback.
Absolutely, but what's even scarier for them is the full 4 ults on the board with Houston, especially with Tanbands. But Tanbands is going to make a very aggressive decision here to push into a main. But let's see if he is spotted. Erebus is the one who gets the line of sight first, takes Tanbands out. That ult is off the board, and Akron is starting to look a little bit better with a gun down on the floor in their territory. But just kidding, Soul's going to go ahead and trade out a fight with Jax. The Empress is live, and she is ready to take blood.
Oh, there's too much Dog just coming around there with far too much nonchalance. Desu has no problem getting the kill there. Arrow gets 1, takes out Sully, but Panzer gets 2 and shuts out Girthy guy. So now it falls once again to Erebus, who's really just been the only member of Akron in the second half to be able to muster much resistance. The problem has been by the time Erebus is getting really good shots off, they're the only one left alive.
Exactly, and so that's where I'm a little bit worried about his positioning right here, is that he constantly finds himself at the back of the pack, like you're saying, and we have this concept of impact frags, where even though he is getting these kills, they're not doing much in the ways of winning his team these rounds.
The equivalent of garbage points, right? The team is down by 20 with 2 minutes left. Well, nobody cares if you score 8 points in a row. The other team is just as happy to win by 20 as they are to win by 12. It doesn't really make a difference. And you see that here as Erebus has gotten a couple of these kills in these later rounds. But now with Houston on match point, they're going to need to get into gear. These Akron Zips are going to need to find themselves quickly moving forward into these rounds. But it's Desu who wanted to shut things down early, but they missed the shot there on Jax. And you see the Killjoy ult coming out. There's all kinds of pressure now over on the A site as Akron moves with alacrity, and Jax takes out Desu with that big showstopper. Let's see if that opens up the A site for real. As Arrow finds Sully, but it's Panzer and Tanbands responding. They get 2 before Girthy guy is able to take out Tanbands. Panzer's ult coming out here, but Jax is going to step forward, trade out the kill that Panzer got from Girthy guy. And so with the spike down, it is 2v1 with Arasui left alive going up against Jax and Erebus. And there is Jax with a triple kill. I tell you what, that's how you tell the other team to stop teabagging. That's how you shut them down. Put a triple kill on the board and save yourself 1 match point.
Yes, indeed. I mean, there's, especially with Jax, you know, he did find himself with that early ace on that second round of this match. So, you know, can't disrespect someone like him when he's around. And you know what? It was amazing showstopper also to not just get a pick, but get the pick on Desu, who was carrying the operator, which is, of course, that lethal weapon for sight holds.
Mm-hmm. You see Desu has already bought in again, has that operator up, also has the Blade Storm if they want it, but you see the smoke coming out there. Well done. Sully here gonna have the short position and get a lot of damage and gets 2 kills and then exfiltrates as Jax and Too Much Dog go out there. Desu misses another operator, but point for Houston. It's all right. Look at Sully going to work with their 3rd kill. And there's arrow down. So now just the Killjoy and the Sova left now for Akron.
One enemy remaining.
And then
Pardon me?
finds Bertha guy.
And who would it be last? But of course, it's Erebus, and the box kill there by Sully. 4 kills for Sully to finish off the round, and it is a 13-7 victory for the Cougars of Houston University. University of Houston. UH.
Wow. We had an amazing action-packed match there. And really, I mean, Akron did bring a lot to the table. As always, it's a pleasure to see Erebus on the Sova, always getting those kills and being the monster on the Sheriff that he is, but unfortunately was not able to get the impact factor this time around. And perhaps talking to the lower fragging half of his team a little bit more, maybe taking him to AIM Lab free on the Steam Workshop. But on the side of Houston, having amazing mental fortitude when they were down 1-5 earlier in the match and then swinging it all the way back 13-7. I mean, they really winning 10 rounds in a row from that kind of a deficit is nothing to scoff at, for sure.
Yeah, no, it's a really impressive show of maturity, I would say, or at least composure in game on the side of Houston. As you know, like you said, they had every reason to fall apart and instead just put themselves together and shot out to a strong lead in the second half to control the match and never let it go. Well, we are going to have to let you all go briefly, as we will be taking a brief break, but not before we remind you all that we are sponsored by our partners at MSI, as well as Clear Eye View, the California State University Entertainment Alliance, as well as the folks over at AIM Labs, Virtual Motion, Radiance.gg, and of course, our title sponsor, HyperX headsets, which we are both utilizing right now. For Ashcon, I am Eli the Curry. The Collegiate Valorant League Season 2, we are going to be going to break, and when we come back, we will have our second match of the evening, which will be between Texas A&M and NJIT. See you when we come back.
Catch you guys in the next one.
know I've never felt this weightless. If anything, it's you that caused this. When I keep falling through my heart cracks, it's you that turns around this whole mess. I'm trying to fight my way through darkness. If anything, it's you that stopped this. When I'm surrounded by the heartless, it's you that turns around this whole mess. It's you that turns around this whole mess.
Where's all the lovers with decided? Missing the chance to transform something basic. Where's all the mistakes? Making judgments from skyscrapers. All these days we stand against them. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears falling, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to.
Welcome back, you filthy Valorant casuals, to Season Dose of the Collegiate Valorant League, hosted by the Gamers EDU, hosted by me. I am your part-time host / full-time bottom fraggin' Reina Main Queen B. We have 2 more stacked matches lined up for you guys tonight. The next one being TAMU White versus NJIT. It's gonna be a doozy. But before we do get into the Valorant head clicking that you guys all came here to see, I did want to give a huge, big ol' virtual bear hug to all of the new people, all of the new students, all of the new viewers and teams that are joining us for Season 2 of the league this year. I know we're, reaching the end of when you can welcome everybody. It is the end of week 3. You guys aren't new here, but just in case you are, we do want to welcome you into the community with open arms. The Gamers EDU really wants to be a safe and inclusive space for those of us in the gaming community that are struggling with our mental health, or maybe are, dealing with a loved one that is going through those same issues. Mental health awareness, one way or the other, it affects you, whether it's secondhand or firsthand. And we want to be a platform that you guys can use to address that and have those conversations. So if you or someone you know is struggling and wants to reach out for help, please, please, please do. And if you don't know where to start, it's a super intimidating process and a big thing to ask for help, but we want to help you, guide you in the right direction. You can check out our panels down below. It has our website link, which has all sorts of resources that you guys can access if you do need that. Down below, you'll also find information and exclusive offers from our sponsors that are helping us raise mental health awareness in this gaming atmosphere, in this gaming community. And we just want to give a huge, big shout out and a huge thank you to them for doing that. Thank you to MSI, our title sponsor. They will be raffling off some MSI goodies for the CVL finals, so make sure you guys tune in for that. A big collective thank you to all of our other sponsors: HyperX, AimLab, Radiance.gg. We really, really, really do appreciate all of your guys' support. We would not be here without it. And now, before I send you guys on a quick little commercial break where you guys are going to hydrate and posture check and stretch, because again, next match is going to be a doozy, I did want to remind everyone in chat to remain respectful and sportsmanlike. We totally understand that you guys have allegiance to your favorite players, your favorite teams, and your schools. We totally get that. I mean, we're totally not biased here. Of course not. We don't have our favorite teams or anything. Go CSUN. But still, we really want to encourage trash talk, not being trash. There's a difference. And now, before I pass it over to your casters for the night, Eli the Curry and Ashcon, I'm going to send you guys on a quick little commercial break. Make sure you don't go anywhere because we will be back shortly. And in the meantime, I'll be in chat with you guys. Bye, guys.
You know I've never felt this weightless. If anything, it's you that caused this. When I keep falling through my heart cracks, it's you that turns around this whole mess. I try to fight my way through darkness. If anything, it's you that stopped this. When I'm surrounded by the heartless, it's you that turns around this whole mess.
Living by the wayside, distant thoughts are getting high. Head was heavy and I'm blurry-eyed. That's all I know. The pace feels fast. I mean it. Without you here, I feel so alone. Energy still depleted. Trying to find a glimmer of hope. Will you look into my eyes and tell me it'll be alright? For my mind is in an eternal fight with itself sometimes. I wonder where you are tonight. I wonder where you are tonight. When the demons hold us so tight. I wonder where you are tonight. I wonder where you are tonight. Wonder where you are tonight. Will look into my eyes and tell me it'll be alright. For my mind's in an eternal fight. Wonder where you are tonight. Been focusing on healing. fractured soul from all the harm and pain I once concealed. But the storm has come before the calm. When you look into my eyes and tell me it'll be alright. For my mind is in an eternal fight with itself sometimes. I wonder where you are tonight. I wonder where you are tonight. When the demons hold us so tight. I wonder where you are tonight.
Where's all the lovers with desire hiding? Missing the chance to transform something basic. Where's all the mistakes? Making judgments from skyscrapers. All these days we stand against them. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears falling, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to. But don't allow them to. Don't allow them to. Don't allow them to. I fear the teardrops may get caught within the downpour. Yet there's never help without relief. Where's all the champions giving out their speeches? All these days thought of the least. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears falling, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to. But don't allow them to. Don't allow them to. Don't allow them to.
felt this weightless. If anything, it's you that caused this. When I keep falling through my heart cracks, it's you that turns around this whole mess. I try to fight my way through darkness. If anything, it's you that stopped this. When I'm surrounded by the heartless, it's you that turns around this whole mess.
Where's all the lovers with the side? Missing the chance to transform something basic. Where's all the mistakes? Making judgments from skyscrapers. All these days we stand against them. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears falling, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to. I can see those tears falling, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to.
Living by the wayside, distant thoughts are getting high. Head was heavy and I'm blurry-eyed. That's all I know. The pace feels fast. I'm eating without you here. I feel so alone. Energy still depleted. been focusing on healing my fractured soul from all the harm and pain I once concealing. But the storm has come before the calm. When you look into my eyes and tell me it'll be alright. From my mind is in an eternal fight with stuff sometimes. I wonder where you are tonight. I wonder where you are tonight. When the demons hold us so tight. I wonder where you are tonight.
Where's all the lovers with the hiding? Missing the chance to transform something basic. Where's all the mistakes? Making judgments from skyscrapers. All these days we stand against them. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears falling, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to. But don't allow them to. Don't allow them to. Don't allow them to. I fear the teardrops may get caught within the downpour. Yet there's never help without relief. Where's all the champions giving out their speeches? All these days start of the least. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears falling, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to. But don't allow them to. Don't allow them to. Don't allow them to.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Collegiate Valorant League, brought to you by the Gamers EDU. I am Eli the Curry, joined by Ashkan. Unfortunately, our second match of the evening will have to be canceled due to a forfeit on the side of NJIT. They were unable to field a full team of 5, and so we'll be forfeiting this match to Texas A&M. Sorry for everyone who was getting ready to watch that match. I know you all were excited for that. The good news is we will have a third match, but it will be played at 8 p.m. So go ahead and get yourselves a walk now. If you haven't had a time, just pull up an episode. You got about half an hour, about 40 minutes of downtime before we come back for our final match of the evening, which will be, as we mentioned earlier, a California Classic between Cal State Northridge and Sacramento State. Josh, do you have anything to say? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's going to be a great match. These are colleges with experience in the tournament scene, and these guys are going to bring a lot of energy to the table. So make sure you are here back at 8 to watch the action unfold.
Absolutely. We'll see you all at that time.
It's you that turns around this whole mess. I try to fight my way through darkness. If anything, it's you to stop this. When I'm surrounded by the heartless, it's you that turns around this whole mess. It's you that turns around this whole mess.
Living by the wayside, distant thoughts are getting high. Head was heavy and I'm blurry-eyed. That's all I know. The pace feels fast. I'm eating without you here. I feel so alone. Energy still depleted. Trying to find a glimmer of hope. Will you look into my eyes and tell me it'll be alright? For my mind is in an eternal fight with stuff sometimes. Been focusing on healing my fractured soul from all the harm and pain I once concealed. But the storm has come before the calm. When you look into my eyes and tell me it'll be alright. For my mind is in an eternal fight with itself sometimes. I wonder where you are tonight. I wonder where you are tonight. When the demons hold us so tight. I wonder where you are tonight.
Where's all the lovers with decided? Missing the chance to transform something basic. Where's all the mistakes? Making judgments from skyscrapers. All these days we stand against them. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears falling, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to. But don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to. But don't allow them to. Don't allow them to. Don't allow them to.
felt this weightless. If anything, it's you that caused this. When I keep falling through my heart cracks, it's you that turns around this whole mess. I try to fight my way through darkness. If anything, it's you that stopped this. When I'm surrounded by the heartless, it's you that turns around this whole mess.
Living by the wayside, distant thoughts are getting high. Head was heavy and I'm blurry-eyed. That's all I know. The pace feels fast. I'm eating without you here. I feel so alone. Energy still depleted. Trying to find a glimmer of hope. Will you look into my eyes and tell me it'll be alright? For my mind is in an eternal fight with itself sometimes. I wonder where you are tonight. I wonder where you are tonight. When the demons hold us so tight. I wonder where you are tonight. I wonder where you are tonight. Wonder where you are tonight. Will look into my eyes and tell me it'll be alright. My mind's in an eternal fight. Wonder where you are tonight. Been focusing on healing my fractured soul from all the harm and pain I once concealed. But the storm has come before the calm. Will you look into my eyes and tell me it'll be alright? For my mind is in an eternal fight with itself sometimes.
but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to. But don't allow them to. Don't allow them to.
Living by the wayside, distant thoughts are getting high. Head was heavy and I'm blurry-eyed. That's all I know. The pace feels fast. I'm eating without you here. I feel so alone. Energy still depleted. Trying to find a glimmer of hope. Will you look into my eyes and tell me it'll be alright? If my mind is in an eternal fight with itself sometimes. I wonder where you are tonight. I wonder where you are tonight. When the demons hold us so tight. I wonder where you are tonight. I wonder where you are tonight. Wonder where you are tonight. Will you look into my eyes and tell me it'll be alright? My mind's in an eternal fight. Wonder where you are tonight. Been focusing on healing my fractured soul from all the harm and pain I once concealing. But the storm has come before the calm. Will you look into my eyes and tell me it'll be alright? If my mind is in an eternal fight with itself sometimes.
felt this weightless. If anything, it's you that caused this. When I keep falling.
Welcome back, you filthy Valorant casuals, to Season 2 of the Collegiate Valorant League, hosted by the Gamers EDU, hosted by me. I am your part-time host slash full-time bottom fraggin' Reina Main Queen B. We have one more match lined up for you guys tonight. CSUN Red versus Sac State, the one you guys have been waiting for, but you guys will have to wait a little longer because before we get into it, I did want to give a big, huge welcome to all the new students, all the new players, and all the new viewers that are joining us for the CVL this season. I know we're reaching the end of week 3. You guys are like, we're not new here anymore, but still, if this is your first stream or you have been with us since season 1 of the CVL, I do want to welcome you guys in and tell us a little bit about ourselves here. The Gamers EDU really wants to be a safe and inclusive space for you guys, especially those in the gaming community that are struggling with their mental health. It's something that affects all of us, be it first or second hand, and there's not enough platforms where you can address that within the gaming community, and we really want to be that for you guys. And please, 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 if you are struggling with your mental health, please reach out for help. It's super scary. It's definitely the scariest part of the whole process, but it is the most important. And if you don't know who to reach out for, we can at least give you some resources to help get you there. Down below in our panels, you'll find a link to our website. You can click that and find all of the resources that you might need. And if you need access to it, they're there. Down below, you'll also find links to all of our sponsors along with exclusive discount codes and offers. They are all helping us. They're all supporting us in this mission, which we are eternally grateful for, and we could not say thank you enough. Thank you to all the sponsors that I didn't mention tonight: CEV, Twitch Student, Entertainment Alliance, Radiance.gg. We really, really do appreciate your support. And now, before I hand the mic back over to your casters for the evening, the lovely Eli the Curry and Ashcon, I do got to do the shameless self-plug thing for just a little bit. I stream Valorant with CVL players, so if you guys want to hang out with us, make sure you check out my channel, twitch.tv/queenbeeislame. I do that every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern if that's something you'd be interested in. And now I'm going to send you guys on a quick little commercial break. We will get into your regularly scheduled head clicking soon enough. Just make sure you're posture checking, you're hydrating, and you're doing all that cute stuff. And I will see you guys next week. Bye, guys.
Tell me it'll be alright. If my mind is in a settle fight with myself sometimes.
is weightless. If anything, it's you that caused this. When I keep falling through my heart cracks, it's you that turns around this whole mess. I try to fight my way through darkness. If anything, it's you that stopped this. When I'm surrounded by the heartless, it's you that turns around this whole mess.
Where's all the lovers with the side? Missing the chance to transform something basic. Where's all the mistakes? Making judgments from skyscrapers. All these days we stand against them. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears falling, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to. break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears falling, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to. But don't allow them to. Don't allow them to. Don't allow them to. I fear the teardrops may get caught within the downpour. Yet there's never help without relief. Where's all the champions giving out their speeches? All these days start of the least. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears falling, but don't allow them to. Don't allow them to break you. You're amazing the way you are. I can see those tears are falling, but don't allow them to. But don't allow them to. Don't allow them to. Don't allow them to.
Living by the wayside, distant thoughts are getting high. Head was heavy and I'm blurry-eyed. That's all I know. The pace feels fast. I'm eating without you here. I feel so alone. Energy still depleted. Trying to find a glimmer of hope. Will you look into my eyes and tell me it'll be alright? From my mind is in an eternal fight with stuff sometimes. I wonder where you are tonight. I wonder where you are tonight. When the demons hold us so tight. I wonder where you are tonight. I wonder where you are tonight.
Welcome everyone back to the Collegiate Valorant League, brought to you by the Gamers EDU. I am Eli the Curry, joined by Ashkan, and I am very somber to announce that we will have a final game of the match. Got you. We're good. We will be getting into it. Our final match of the night between California State University, Northridge, and Sacramento State. These two teams have been waiting all night. We know you all in the chat have been waiting. But before we get into our final match of the night on Ascent, I do want to just say thank you to our partners over at MSI, as well as the folks at Clear Eye View, the California State University Entertainment Alliance, as well as AIM Labs, Virtual Motion, Radiance.gg, and of course our title sponsor, HyperX. Ashkan, you and I have had a lot of downtime as we process this. I know you've been deep in thought, thinking about how you want to parse this, but I'm just going to ask you plain. What is Northridge going to do, or what are they going to need to do in order to win this match?
So last week we did not have, or sorry, not last week, but 2 weeks ago, last time we saw that match, there was an unfortunate loss for CSUN Red that I was, in tears to see, wiping them away with my C9 jersey. But this time around, I'm hoping to see them pull up with a little bit of a better sense of patience. I felt like they kind of rushed into their pushes and whatnot and the strategies that they had prepared without realizing that they needed to lay a little bit of groundwork before doing those executions. So I hope to see that today, and maybe they can bring home a few more rounds or even the dub.
Well, there you go. On the other side, of course, Sacramento State, they are not a pushover team. They're not here to roll over and be defeated. And though they are likely to be outnumbered in the chat as far as fans and lobbies go, when it comes to the thing that really matters, the gameplay, they are every bit the match for CSUN. As you see, the teams loading in on each side. And Nas going to be going with the Omen. We've got Abel there on Jet, Psycho on the Sova, Trippy with Reyna, and Kaizen Strife on the Killjoy for the side of Sacramento State. Over on the side of Northridge, we've got Beefy Benji on Jet, Boop on the Omen, Show running Phoenix, Hot Chocolate Kenny running Cypher, and Sando running Sky. I think this may be our first Sky sighting of the season. Ashkan, would you break down that agent for anyone who hasn't seen her before and may not be aware of her abilities?
Absolutely. So Sky has on one of her abilities a purchasable heal with a health pool of 100, so you can heal 100 health to anyone within your line of sight, and you have to rebuy it anytime you heal for any amount. She has a kind of like a Sova drone, except it's a dog that stuns anyone it attacks. She has 3 flashbangs, which she guides almost like jet smokes, and she flies them through the air. And if you're unlucky enough, she will flash you, and if you are flashed, she will know, meaning that she gets the information of anyone she flashes. So it's a bit of a versatile character for sure.
Yeah, definitely all around here. Speaking of all around, it's Abel going straight to work there, working off of that flash, getting the kill, and Sando falls. So we take the time to highlight the Sky, and she's the first one out here of this pistol round. Well, that's a quick little bit of action here for Sacramento State to kick things off. They get first blood. And some good damage here as the two teams fall back and regather.
Taking back the mid as well. They have a lurker up in mid trying to push CSUN out as they go inwards towards the site. They're going to go ahead. Tac State flanking around, taking more and more control of the map. But Show is going to take out 2 players, creating a 3-4, but then goes to 3-3 as Abel takes out Show finally for a trade out. And we're looking at 2.5 and 2.5 players.
The action has been hot and heavy to begin with. You see Kaizen Strife there getting the kill on Benji. Psycho finds Hot Chocolate K, and Kaizen Strife picks off Boop. And so the first round will go the way of Sacramento State as after a quick start, well, I don't know what you call it. Honestly, just a flashing, frenzy. Really, we talked about situations like that before with Jet, where you'll see the flash or the stun and then she goes in. But I was not expecting to see it in a pistol round.
Absolutely, and that was devastating. I think all 5 members of CSUN were flashed there. I mean, talk about effective for 200. Or was it Omen blind is what, $400 now? I think so. An effective 400 credits.
And now if you are Northridge, you've got to look for that combo once again. You can't ever really feel too comfortable stacking up. All the same, we see them here heading towards the A site. They are going to push in here as a group, and it's Trippy all alone with that, and they are going to do well to get out, and now create danger on the other end as the word goes out here. For the remainder, this is big danger here for Northridge as Sando gets the kill on Trippy. Nas is going to trade that back out. And now the pinch is going to come down on the remaining 2 members of Northridge as Trippy, the hero of this round, really able to hold off that attack, get 2 kills, and then get the word out to the rest of the team. What a job there.
That thing I was talking about being patient before the push.
Might be practical, might be some good advice. Sometimes the best medicine is bitter, and sometimes you need someone to call out one of your flaws, and then you go out and do the exact thing that they were warning you not to do before it hits home, that maybe this is something that needs to be worked on. And if you're Northridge, you'd love for them to have gotten the wake-up call in these first 2 rounds. If you're a Sacramento State fan, you're loving what you're seeing to start out with, as they have been quite ready for the challenge here. You see Trippy get smoked off. And now Sacramento State, once again, knows the action is coming towards the A site. Although if you look down at the map, you can see Chocolate there on the back end. They're just ready to protect the lurk there, right there on the Cypher cams. So some more caution out of Northridge at the beginning of this round.
Definitely a lot slower. Of course, the results of those first 2 rounds are because of 2 consecutive pistol rounds, so we still have time yet to see what CSUN can do. We know they can do very well. Here we have Sacramento State oriented more towards the A site, leaving a weaker B, and I think CSUN has noticed it as they move towards Hot Chocolate K and past him in towards the B site. But a Sova arrow is going to go ahead and get destroyed, but not spot Show. Gets behind that corner right before he's seen. And here comes CSUN with what seems to be an entry.
30 seconds left.
Only 27 seconds remaining in the round as Benji gets a great kill there on Psycho, taking some damage here. But the work has been done in order to get Northridge into the A site, and there's Sando getting their first kill there, taking out Trippy. Sando in good position to cut off the reinforcements of a sense. You see Abel getting around there, is able to get the kill on Sando. They're going to get the rifle in their hands. And that is now 3-4 here as Sacramento State attempts this retake. You see Benji now working in the back, putting shots down, just biding the time there as Boop gets the kill on Kaizenstripe. Now 2-4. And the advantage as Abel goes with the Bladestorm ult, but looks like having some trouble there. Nas finds the kill there on Chocolate K now, but the spike is going down deeper and deeper as Nas and Abel go in and try to get some more work done. They are unable to finish the round. It is Benji and Show who are able to clean it out here and just narrowly survive the explosion.
And there we have it. CSUN finally on the board with that buy round. It's the guns is all they need. First 2 rounds, I was worried for nothing. They come back looking clean. Sac State here, a little bit of a light buy, but they do have an op in Abel's hands. Well, I say light buy, but really it's only Kaizen with light armor. CSUN, however, having died on their buy round, or having most players die on their buy round, are going to have a couple of SMGs on the board.
See what happens now is it is a very aggressive economic decision from Sacramento State. That's something that we've come to see out of them often over the course of the past couple of seasons. You see the Odin on deck. You also see that operator, as you mentioned. And so Northridge maybe will be aware of that. They may have played them enough to know that type of thing is coming. But thus far, it's been smart movement on Northridge's side. They haven't given Abel any clean angles. And no shot has come out here. You see the run it back. Oh, that's going to expose the operator's presence. But it's Nas who finds the opening kill regardless, taking out Boop. As we see this movement now going over into the A site.
Oh my god. Great dash from Beefy Benji to get into tree and find a pick. Sando's going to go ahead and trade out Abel. Trippy finds 1 pick, but Beefy Benji finds another with his knives. And Sac State is left with 1 man down versus CSUN's 3. Bomb is finally going to go down. Doors closing, gets shot open by Kaizen. Show falls to A main. Beefy Benji trying to go in for I Psycho, but that Odin is...
That's a tough fight to pick right there. Right now, Psycho would love to find something there through the floor. Kaizenstripe knows it's a 2v2, but it's Hot Chocolate K with a big kill there on Psycho. Kaizenstripe, however, is able to get back-to-back kills. Now they have to find the spike.
Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There we go. There we go.
They don't want to look. They don't want to know. But it sounds like everything will be A-okay for Sacramento State as Kaizenstripe with the big clutch up. Pick 1, turn around, pick 2. Go ahead and grab the operator for your jet there as Kaizenstripe saves the round for Sacramento State.
I gotta point out that the choice Kaizen made to kind of hug that wall towards A main to prevent the double swing was just amazing decision making in the moment, because that is what allowed them to kind of take the 1v1 and a 1v1 rather than have to deal with 2 people shooting at once.
Yeah, it would have been a kind of devastating, honestly, if they were perhaps relying upon Psycho to have their backup in heaven, and Psycho was looking for that, had the idea where somebody was, as we see Benji getting a great shot there to take down Nas. This is a pistol round now for Northridge, but they are up in Agent. And Abel is forced to smoke and dash just to get out of that crossfire. So now things getting a little bit frisky here. As Northridge down on weapons, but moving with a bit of aggression here.
Sky ult is out, now has told CSUN where 3 of the enemy players are. Sac State kind of in a little bit more of a defensive position. Of course, they're on defense, but rather pushed away from a lot of territory that they would normally love to hold. But Abel's going to go ahead and find Show. Treated out by Benji for a second headshot on the Sheriff again, but Trippy will find Kenny. We're at a 3v3. An amazing pistol round so far by the side of CSUN. Psycho, however, is going to pick out Sando and Beefy Benji, who are peeked through Market, and Kaizen Strife will end the round by taking out Boop.
You saw there, that was a massive Killjoy ultimate going off for Kaizen Strife. It really pinched Northridge in, forced them to stay in that one spot, and we're really efficient with forcing them down. And it was just a matter of time until that Killjoy ult goes off. Everyone is detained, and Sacramento State able to go clean that up, and they are up 4-1 here as we enter into round number 6.
And yet again, we see CSUN with a very aggressive orientation towards A. And here comes the blind. Do we get a second coming of the first round? Unfortunately, we do not. Sando gets a kill on Abel, who dashed up, and Trippy's on death's door with 19 health remaining. Nas here going to go ahead and take their places on the hold. Sees that Show is pushed in and is taking the orb and is going to smoke it off. Sando, however, is going to rectify some of the damage with the heal on her character. Her heal pool is almost completely diminished, down to 16. Kaizen Strife. I don't know about Pokemon. Yeah, something going on.
May have thought about a heroic Molly there, but get a little bit more information there. You see Nas there using that teleport to get a little bit of information, just a slight bit. There is this Trippy who gets pushed by Beefy Benji. He's gonna fall. And Kaizen Strife now forced to break up into Heaven and try to get some work done here as the Molly is down, the smoke is up, and Heaven is a hostile place here as Northridge gets themselves situated on this A site with Spike down.
Beautiful shot by Nas to go ahead and retake from Show. It is Beefy Benji who finds Kaizen from the top of Generator. Very cheese spot and a very uncommon angle to play. Great choice. So we're going to go and have Nas pick out Boop. Psycho's going to go ahead and take out Benji with his second shock dart. Low is Sando, and down they go. The final one left is Hot Chocolate K in a main. And Sac State on a scramble to defuse the bomb. Hot Chocolate K going to go ahead and try to spray through the Hyper Cage and finds not one, but 2 through that cage. Nos and Ice Psycho go down, putting CSUN with their second round on the board. An amazing clutch up and a great spray.
Well, I'll tell you what, the chat is feeling real proud now. We have seen the name in the chat many, many times. In this round, it is indeed Hot Chocolate Kenny who gets a massive 2K. As the shots on the spike, you kind of expect that, right? You know exactly where it was, but that follow-up to get the kill on Psycho, the 2-piece to clutch that out, just an amazing job there by the Cypher of Northridge to keep them in this and not allow that lead to fall behind. And now you see Sacramento State off kilter now. Their economy is a little bit rattled. You may see a couple of rounds here for Northridge if they're able to push this momentum and take advantage of the economic difference between these two teams. That you can see Psycho there on the drone, but over on the right side, you see that shotgun in his hands. Good on a short quarter, not great in some of these long angles, which you know the shooters of Northridge are more than happy to play right now.
We're seeing a peek mid and a fight breaks out. 2 knives come out of Beefy Benji. Third and a fourth, but as Kaizen goes down, Beefy Benji is straight out by Nos. Show finds his entry into B finally by taking out Psycho. So CSUN is down there on the site. Abel going to dash in quick with a Bucky. Right clicks for 1, but not 2 kills. Show finally takes him out. And it is Trippy left alone here in B main. Sando is going to go ahead and say, hey, I got a Phantom. You got a Sheriff. It's unfortunate, but you missed that first shot, buddy.
Yeah, there's always a little bit of hope there with the Sheriff. You've seen that Desert Eagle, that power it has. If you tap the head, you can indeed make some special things happen. But when you're dealing with a fight between equals, one of them has a better gun. The person with the better gun usually wins, and that's the case here for Northridge. As after a bit of rough waters in those first few rounds, things looking a little haphazard for them. They have pulled it back now to 4-3. But you can see here on the side of Sacramento State, more weapons coming out. The rifles back in hand. They have the advantage in rounds. They've looked good. You know they would love to get this gun round and get the momentum back under control.
Here comes that ult on show, perhaps going to try to run it back into A main, but there are 3 people holding that site. Indeed, he does. Out comes the ultimate with a flash curveball hit, but unfortunately he is targeted by both the Killjoy Nanoswarm and Trippy in the back side. And Trippy finds Beefy Benji. Sack able taking out Sando. Trippy taking their second on show. Hot Chocolate K finally trading 2 with Nos and Trippy down. Ice Psycho bounces another Hunter's Fury. Sorry, I almost said Shock Dart. And takes out the 4th, and then our final one goes down. That was chaos.
Yeah, that was. Well, you mentioned one of the issues of the patience on the side of Northridge. That time they opened things up. They looked to push. Maybe felt like they were gonna have the weapons advantage again. They did not, and unfortunately for them, the shooting gallery does not turn their way. Sacramento State. We mentioned this at the open. Not lacking for gunplay ability. They can go blow for blow with anybody in this league when it comes to the aim duels, and thus far they have held their own, and with a couple of strategic decisions that I feel like Northridge has not been ready for, Sacramento State finds himself in the lead here as we begin round number 9.
And now we start this round with a slow walk of Beefy Benji upwards towards Cat. Sando's going to go ahead and ult to get some info from their team, but the Kaizen Stripe is going to find 2 before that ultimate finds any use. Beefy Benji trading 1 out, but Abel is going to find Sando, and CSUN is not looking great on this round, save round as it may be.
You don't want to lose out on a round like this. Even if you're saving, you still want to at least get some damage there, maybe get some kills. You never know, if you find yourself up a couple of agents, somebody hits a hot shot, maybe you can even win a round, get a thrifty. But even still, you want to find the money here. As you see Trippy taking out Show, and then Beefy Benji soon falls. So it is a very dominant round this time for Sacramento State. They are up 6-3. Ashcon, we're almost towards the end of this half. Now I got a few more rounds before we get to halftime. If you're Sacramento State, you've made it to the halfway marker. You've got 6 wins on the round. What have they done thus far to get themselves ahead, and what do they need to do in order to take a bigger lead heading into halftime?
Well, first of all, speaking of Sac State, me and Trippy need to have a talk. He just put that salt spray down there on the ground after winning that, and I'm not happy, let me tell you, as the CSUN fanboy that I am. However,
you're feeling identified, are you?
Yeah. However, CSUN has got to play these save rounds that they have slower, and as soon as I say that, they're going to go ahead and win this buy round, so it seems Trippy falls immediately to Beefy Benji. But yeah, I feel as if they're giving up on these save rounds before they happen. Oh!
Spike down A.
Took the near corner, and it doesn't work there as they get booped, but it's Hot Chocolate K who gets it as they rally out of the A site. Abel was there looking to catch them out as they came back around. But unfortunately for them in that Hunter's Trap position, they were not ready to finish the fight. And so Northridge is able to move around here, put some shots down into the mid side as they try to push and open this map back up and give themselves access to either site. There's Benji with a great click there on a Kaizen Strife. That's going to do a lot of work as they make the push back towards A once again.
Poor Kaizen, in that situation, they were pinned with absolutely nothing to do, and Beefy Benji knew that that was the case, rolling up with that classic. Good to recognize that, and as the plant goes down, Sando will fall to the shock dart. Beefy Benji gets their 3rd pick of the round, might find themselves in a 4K as Nos retakes from heaven.
Is Nos making their way around the molly here. They've got to find multiple angles, but now the information is out as Benji gets the kill in the 4K with 5 health left. Beefy Benji looking pretty thick indeed. Putting in the work here for Northridge and salvaging that round almost single-handedly. Now it's 6-4 here for Northridge. They're going to go up against another gun round here on the side of Sacramento State, who has found themselves in a position now where they have the opportunity. They can still push out. But if they're not careful, Northridge is still quite ready to push this back and send us to 6-6 at the half.
Get out of my way.
Speaking of Northridge, they're going to look for this aggressive B main push. Beefy Benji with the knives out. Not a care in the world as they begin to walk forward. Shock Dart comes out on the side of Stack State. Unfortunately, does not hit, but iPsycho will find Show as he peeks out. And it is Beefy Benji who falls to iPsycho, regardless of the knives being out. Abel is going to just barely, narrowly not get flashed by the Skybird. And it's CSUN that has to fall off of B main, even though they postured up so aggressively at the beginning of this round.
You know, that is a frustrating turn of events for them as they are forced to fall back basically in a spawn, regroup, and now down 2 agents. Instead, it is Abel here who will push aggressively, get 2, and get back out. Now only 1 left is Boop. And even though they're able to take Abel out, it is a small consolation victory as Sacramento State, with a very stringent defense here, shutting down that push in the B site and winning that round comfortably. Now, as we head into the last round of the half, Sacramento State with a chance to go up 8-4.
Oh, and it's not great here as CSUN unfortunately cannot get full buys. Boop on the Bulldog and Sando with light armor.
And it's a negative turn of events. You look at their economy as well as far as ultimates go. Benji, who saved on that last round going with the Blaze Storm, but it found 0 value. You see Chocolate K with nothing as well. And this time Kaiser Stripe, which would have been the grenade toss they were looking for earlier, but it doesn't get a chance to go off as Northridge was quite aware of that angle and ready for the Killjoy grenade to fall in. Gotta tell you, it's a good thing it wasn't my job to shoot that grenade, because that would not have went well.
It did provide enough information for Sack, able to go ahead and make the flank and pick out Dundo and fall off for a conservative play. Trippy is going to find Show. CSUN with only 3 players left on the board. Trippy finds a second one on Beefy Benji. The Empress is out. And here it is, Abel with an aggressive take towards Boop. Finds the headshot. Not able to find Kenny quite yet. But we're going to find a swing on Trippy, who also falls. Oh no, are we getting a series of 1v1s? We are!
Oh,
Kenny takes a third.
Now this is extremely doable here as it's up to Psycho and Nas to communicate amongst themselves and find the spot where Kenny is so they can approach it from opposite angles as we see the man that the chat has wanted to see pop off. It's Kenny versus Psycho and Nas. Almost no health left here on Kenny's side. Almost anything will be enough. And there it is, Nas playing the angle correctly, shuts down what would have been an absurd comeback attempt there from Kenny, and now putting Northridge in a position where they're going to need to make an impressive comeback as they start the second half down 8-4.
Whew, indeed, indeed. I mean, Kenny had me on the edge of my seat in that last round, but he's going to have to bring that kind of energy to the table starting now if CSUN's going to make their comeback. And something I'm worried about here is, although they have a Cypher, I feel like the retake potential in terms of the ultimates for CSUN's team comp is not great. I would say that Phoenix Ultimate and Sky Ultimate certainly serve their part, but what they can both get shot out and reduced to null, essentially.
And it is a dangerous prospect to have your effectiveness shot out, as we see Benji here looking to emulate what happened last round, and they do get the kill there on Abel. So it's a little, you show me yours, we'll show you ours here, as it is now Northridge responding aggressively on the defense. Show gonna take out Kaizen Stripe there. And so that's a great start for Northridge as Nas looks to make something happen there. They get taken out by Hot Chocolate K, so now 3 straight fights won here for Northridge as Trippy tries to get Sacramento State some revenge. They get one there, and there's Psycho taking out Sando. No health as it is for Kenny, though. This may be an even up situation for Sacramento State if they can find one more. Oh no, instead it's Benji who pushes up, and there's Psycho with a huge shock dart, gets 2, and now this is evened up. However, the spike is not in hand. Psycho does not have the opportunity to plant here, and they don't know where Omen is, so they're not quite able to clear that spike.
Okay, beautiful. He gets the information he needs. Psycho's going to go for a slow push. If I were him, I'd try to duck right under that railing and take a fight. But unfortunately, he gets right into the cone of Boop, and the headshot comes out. It did not even matter that Psycho was low. He was down and out.
Oh, there's Boop clutching it up as we had ourselves a Wild West showdown And then we tell you all the time that we don't feel like the KDA says anything, and it won't, because Boop has 3 kills on this round, but they definitely are responsible for that entire round there for Northridge with that 1v1. And sometimes that's what it comes down to. Your value to a true team, an actual 5-stack, not just solo queue and ranked, comes down to little moments, certain things that don't come up on the scorecards, because though that only counts for 1 kill, that round may be huge for Northridge. It's a pull closer now, 8-5.
See Sacramento State aiming for an A split here. Able with the double shorty. Shotgun finds Boop. Beefy Benji immediately with the trade, but is forced back. Sacramento State flooding the A side immediately. Breaking down that door, finds Beefy Benji in the generator. Sando is there too with only 8 health. Is able to trade out Trippy, but Nos is going to finally take Sando out of the game. Kaizen is going to bring the bomb down behind the generator, and it is both of CSUN's players in Shree that are left to save this game. Nos is going to take out Sho upon the entry with the flashbang, and Hot Chocolate K, yours truly, Kenny, is left to clutch up one last time.
And you mentioned the retake ability of Northridge was not exceptional on the defense. Kenny's gonna have to get this done with some guile and great aim. There's 1 and 2. It's in play here for Kenny as they try to flick on the Psycho, who shuts it down. And it's a thrifty for Sacramento State as Kenny once again putting the audience on the edge of their seats. As that falls short of a Herculean task there. We had a 3v1, got 2. But it's the last kill that mattered there as Psycho cleans it up for Sacramento State, and they pull ahead now 9-5.
Oh boy. I'm just truly impressed at Kenny's calm and collectedness every time he's put in that scenario, because he's been put in that clutch scenario one too many times that I would be comfortable with, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the way, like in a sense of the way Erebus was near the end of that Akron versus Houston game, right? Where it's just like, all right, looks like it's up to me again.
Abel goes straight past Hot Chocolate K, but it's okay because Trippy takes him out. He's going to go ahead and walk into CC after Nos takes out Sando. Psycho's going to find Sho. CSUN, you're not looking good here on the retake, but here you are with Beefy Benji on his lovely Sheriff. He gets a little bit of damage off. Cannot necessarily find a pick, but he's working on it. Boop here in Market with his classic. Reload.
Negative interaction there. Oh my goodness. You see right there, Trippy actually able to take some time, said, no, look around, man. It's no problem. The rest of my homies are coming around. You can just enjoy Reyna's character model for a little bit. As the cleanup crew comes, they find the kills necessary. Sacramento State now up 10-5. Actually, that round, you saw the aggression on the side of Sacramento State, and it was warranted. They were going up against pistols. This won't be the case here, as we see a little bit stronger weaponry coming out on the side of Northridge. But we are getting close to that time now, Ashkin, where you got to start making very critical decisions about what round you need to win, because if you are Northridge, you're almost out of time. You can't really afford to save much more.
That is true here, and it would be...
Get out of my way!
Now, they do know here that Sac State should be on their bonus round, so they are aiming to win right around here, but Sac State is... Unfortunately, for CSUN, I'm going to find a pick very, very early. Get Trippy in. And it's Sando that's going to make the trade out. Find 2 on... Beefy Benji goes ahead and finds his way back from A main to assist Sando, pushing Sac State more towards that window area. Abel here on the flank. They've actually retreated towards mid, where Kenny is alone. Is spotted by Abel with a knives. Double updraft. It's extremely hard to keep track of. Hot Chocolate K falls to the knives. Bomb is going to go down as soon as Nos plants. Sho is out. Has cleared most of Lever and B main. And it is CSUN here looking to rush on in for this retake, as he also has knives. Both Jets.
There's a great shot there from Benji, and Sho doing a good job as well to get the kill on Abel, as Nas left alone with only 22 health there, and the molly goes down. But Nas is able to position himself, get that kill, but he doesn't know quite where Benji is, and he is punished for that ignorance as Benji steps forward, gets the trade-off, and it looks like we'll get the defuse for Northridge. Well, there was a retake there. We talked about how the economy or the agent abilities for the retakes weren't very strong. But in that case, it looked like the timing for Northridge was just phenomenal. They pushed in before Sacramento State could get themselves reset. And to my eyes, looked like they were really ready to pounce once that spike went down.
Absolutely. That, I would say, is chalked up to Beefy Benji getting that amazing kill with the Bucky right click. We stand the Bucky here with its super strong one-shot ability because, hey, why not? But then also, unfortunately, Sac State's able whiffing their knives while CSUN was peeking through lane there.
See Trippy here hedging around main, looking for an option. You know, Trippy would love to get an early kill, get somebody out here. Some utility that way will indicate the presence. But the shots through the wall don't amount to much. Trippy takes a bit of damage here. Gonna move through. It looks like a lot of pressure being put here on the A site. But mostly from Trippy here, as the rest of Sacramento State is kind of back and seeing what Northridge is willing to commit to that interaction around the A site. As we see Show there with the Ares getting the kill on Kaizenstrife.
Nas is going to go ahead and is, I guess, trying to take a fight here in mid, perhaps to recover that lost player, get some revenge on Show.
30 seconds left. Headshot.
Oh, Sac State able going to find a headshot through the wall to take out Beefy Benji. That doesn't feel good. Show is going to go ahead and find a second pick. Boop as well. Returning the favor, another headshot through the wall.
And now with only 12 seconds left, it's Trippy and Psycho having to find something. Trippy gets a kill there on Kenny and then finds Show as well. So Psycho, who tried to get into the site and get the spike down, unfortunately unable to, and that will spell the end of this round here. As with the spike on the ground and unable to plant, Trippy can't get anything done. That's unfortunate. But for Northridge, it's another part of the comeback. We see we will get a Able calling a play plan timeout, I think. Saying, if I understand that correctly, are they calling a timeout now, I believe?
Pause at 10? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I was wondering if does that mean we're going to get a timeout when Northridge gets to 10? If so, or was that a timeout called here? But it looks like we're going to get a timeout. So, Ashkin, we've seen 17 rounds from these two teams now. Sacramento State has the lead. What are you seeing out of them? What is, what do you think are some of the keys, some of the reasons why they've been able to get this lead as we pull to the end of the second half?
I feel like they're making effective use of the map in a way that CSUN did not right now on attack. CSUN very much had the 5-man execute, 4-to-1 execute type deal going on, which is not something we see, for example, in the Radiant or the Immortal Conference, where they're always more spread out across the map. And I feel like Sac State has a little bit more of a grasp on that, but also a whole lot of that has been going on.
Some fresh shooting. That's something anybody can understand, as we see Nas get the kill there on Sando. So after the timeout, Sacramento State got whatever information they needed out. And now the kill there. Trippy takes out Boop. 3 kills to 1 now as Show takes out Trippy. There's a lot more work to be done here for Northridge's lone Phoenix. I'm sorry, not to disrespect our good buddy Kenny on that Cypher. See those two moving through heaven right now, trying to get through. Pressure is out there. Show gets tagged up, gets spotted, and Nas gets the kill. And now it is Kenny once again left alone. It is a 4v1. Even though the damage is low, Kaizenstrife able to take some shots, turn and fire, and finish off Kenny. And now it is 11-7 here for Sacramento State.
You know, Kenny's sitting there over in his chair, they're in the Discord call, and he's like, guys, listen, I know we want to take these gunfights, but I need to not be the last one alive. Please. Give me, I can retake 4v5, but I can't retake 2v5. Like, Show and I are trying our best over here.
It's like, guys, can I get some help, something to work with? Well, We know Northridge is not a one agent team. We know that they work well as a unit, and they'll need that here. As you see the push coming through, it is an aggressive move from Sacramento State. Trippy caught up in quite a bit of utility as well as some bullets, but it's Kaiserstrife who finds a shot and takes out Show. And so through all of that aggression, all of that utility focus on that narrow hallway over in B, it's Sacramento State that gets the advantage. And then Benji evens it right back out. Never mind. All hail the right click of Bucky.
That indeed. Here comes Boop again. This from being still familiar, but this time it's Boop that gets the pick. What was happening there? All right, Nas finally finds the pick on Boop. Okay, we won't talk about it. He got his job done. He's going to go ahead and enter into tree. And Sac State gets a little bit of a whiff of that and immediately begins to rotate around. Unfortunately, CSUN gets a whiff of it, begins to rotate around. Kenny is a bit low from his earlier shenanigans, and so it is disadvantageous retake for the side of CSUN, but you know that they love to clutch things up, and they got all the util they need. And just as soon as I say that, it is Sky healing up Kenny, and CSUN is looking all patched up and clean.
Yeah, he loves Sky's versatility there, operating as a bit of a Sage, a bit of a Phoenix, a bit of everything here. But there's Trippy being the executioner. Trippy with another kill there. They have 2 on the round. Nas takes out Benji, and Sacramento State is now on match point. As they have found the rhythm on offense after that timeout. They take the next 2 rounds, and here they sit 12-7, looking to close things out. What does Northridge need to do in order to keep this game going, Ashton?
Here.
Right now, Beefy Benji is definitely carrying the team with the kills. If they can somehow further enable his ability to kind of get those picks, because he's certainly on a roll, perhaps they CSUN can find themselves turning the match. Unfortunately, on being on defense, that sort of tactic is a bit more difficult to pull off. And as soon as I say that, Beefy Benji finds an opportunity to kind of get around through mid and get in a sort of scuffle with Kaizen and takes him out with a knife headshot. That's exactly what they need to be able to do time and time again and get those early picks away from the attacking Sac State to kind of even out the round score. And he makes the wise move to retreat here, which is going to go ahead and save them a lot of headache later.
They're showing the run it back. They get the information out. Just a little bit of damage down. They traded out to make things a little bit more rushed. Trippy gets the kill there on Benji, and there's Boop here playing the flanker role. They get the kill on a Psycho. Like you mentioned, Ashkan, a little bit earlier in the night, impact frags. We saw Benji with that big shot onto Kaizen earlier. There was Boop there, cutting that attack in half, and now you see Trippy there over on the left side, a little bit isolated here as the members of Sacramento State have to find themselves to coordinate together again. You see Abel pulling up the rear. They find Sando, but the spike is over to the left side, and Abel's got to move to go gather it. Oh, kill there on Boop through the smoke. And now Abel able to get into the site and perhaps get this plant down. If they know where anybody was, they have the chance to get it down. There's Trippy. They find Chocolate K. The plant will go down here with about 8 seconds left. And it's all on Show to make this work here, or else Northridge's night is finished.
That indeed, and he's going up against not one but 2 ults, Jet with the knives, and we have Reyna with the Empress. Show, unfortunately, 100 health, no armor. The wall and the molly may come in handy if he can kind of predict the positions of Sac State, but unfortunately he's getting no information whatsoever, and as he drops, Abel spots him, the knives come out, getting their 3K of the round. Abel closes it out on CSUN, 13-7.
There you go. The Stingers are up and out as the knives do the work. That is a 3K like you mentioned. And Sacramento State, I told you all, they are not pushovers. They came to play. They put together a wonderful second half there. They finish off Northridge and take the match 13-7. As we see here, Beefy Benji, our top fragger with 22 kills. But right underneath them, you see that trio, Abel, Trippy, Nas. Time and time again, they step up and get the job done, get the frags necessary. As the rest of Northridge really struggled, it seemed to be a match for Sacramento State just in terms of killing capacity. And I think it goes to what you mentioned at the outset, Ashkin. It's something that this version of Northridge is still working on. This CSUN Red team is still getting themselves and getting their bearings. for these situations, because you see what happens when they run into a team that can shoot on their caliber. Sacramento State was ready for the fights.
That indeed, yeah. It's, but also a little bit more of a weaker showing today. This is not the CSUN Red we're usually used to seeing. So hopefully we get a little bit more AIM Lab free on the Steam Workshop work going on in there, plugging it in whenever I can.
Indeed, as well, we do remind you all that our partners over at the Clear Eye View, as well as MSI, California State University Entertainment Alliance, HyperX, Virtual Motion, and Radiance.gg, they're all here for you. We have a Discord up if you actually want to be able to communicate with members of the Gamers EDU, the Collegiate Valorant League, like Ashkan and myself. Find us through !Discord. This was our final match of the night, but we will be back on Tuesday. Funny Man and Muted will be heading up more Radiant League action as we push onward. Already going through, I believe it's week number 4. We're going to be starting out. Seems like we just started a couple of days ago, and already we've got a few weeks down in the books.
Time flies when you're having fun, I guess, huh?
True enough. Well, folks, for Eli the Curry, as well as Ashkan, and our wonderful host, Queen V, this has been your Diamond League Collegiate Valorant League action of the night. We will see you all next time.